Hello and welcome everyone to the Sacred Union Global Summit. The Sacred Union is a joyous journey to self, and it's all about recognizing the yin and the yang, the light and the dark, and the feminine and the masculine within the self, and acknowledging that we need it all to become whole and one with Creator Source. So just to start off the conversation, I'd like to ask you, what does sacred union or divine union mean to you?
When we speak about union, we see a circle, we see a completion. And union within or without is that wholeness, that you are all that you need. So whether you decided to be in a relationship or a partnership with another to form a sacred union, you come to a level where you no longer see a separation between you and the other person. They're simply an extension of you.
For me, sacred union is really about our foundational relationship with all experience and all life. We come into a deeper sacred union with ourselves the more that we accept the different layers and aspects of ourselves. For many, this path of ascension or coming into the oneness with God and ascending above all of the separation and all of the limitations is a journey that actually comes into our lives and essentially becomes this incredible ecstatic samadhi experience, great peak experiences that we may have where we move through a journey, we feel ourselves detach enough from all the things and let go of our minds enough to have this moment of ecstatic union with the divine. And then what happens is that we return to what we often say is the real world. And that means that you're in relationship to things. And so you could say that the path to the one and the path of ascension is the path of the divine masculine, the path of God, the path of essentially going as you direct yourself to release everything that's not important, to pierce through the veil, and then finally have this moment of great release where you realize you're back home. But the path going back down, where we come back down into our lives and into our world, is the part that most people judge as being bad. It's the separation that allows you to have an experience with another being. And because you're different than that being, you have the capacity to fall in love with them.
Basically, that this union, it's really like a marriage. It's like we're actually making a commitment to nature in that we're gonna commit to being in almost like taking vows to be in a relationship that can become a partnership that evolves into so many aspects of nature, for me, especially the plants, become my beloveds. I'm talking beloveds. And so it's very intimate and it's very tight and it's amazing. And so what I do in this union, this sacred union with nature, is I'm very aware of the commitment I've made, and I rededicate myself on a regular basis. It's like I don't take anything for granted, nothing for granted. Just like in a human relationship, you really can't take it for granted that it's always going to be there.
What I actually fell into was the feeling that when we talk about unity or union, we're really talking about something that in fact is very difficult to talk about. And I think that's because we're talking about a mystery. It's easy to talk about the union of opposites in a way. We can use the words, but what do these things really mean? In history, for example, it was the mystics that recorded their experiences of this mystery. A spiritual journey with stages and often dark challenges. We're probably all familiar with the proverbial dark night of the soul, or the cloud of unknowing, as one anonymous text title reads. It was a journey that involved a turning inward to contemplate the divine within oneself through images, dreams, visions, and experiences. And as we know, these images and experiences are unique to the individual, but they all ended in various descriptions of union with divine. Indeed, the aim was for union with the divine, either becoming like God, even becoming God, or the divine, whatever your word is, or a journey of developing a relationship with God or the divine. And that's actually the latter I prefer. And as we know, all Orthodox religions have their mystical traditions. Judaism has the Kabbalah, Islam has Sufism, Christianity, the Gnostic path. Buddhism, Hinduism has Tantrism, Kundalini Yoga. And today, quantum physics borders on mysticism, as it speaks of the unity and interdependence of all being on all scales, from the macrocosm to the microcosm.
And let's kick off the conversation with a question about sacred union. What is your understanding of sacred union?
Yeah, what a beautiful place to start. And yeah, it really excited me to bring in sacred union. When you approached about this topic, I was like, yay, bring that to the forefront, because actually the third in my trilogy of plays is about the sacred union of soulmates that have traveled through incarnations and times together and regrouped at the sort of final act, the final storytelling, to come together in union to make the world a much more powerful place. And while many talk about the twin flame, I often see it as twin ray consciousness, because I believe that we're rays of consciousness, the angelic kingdom, or whatever you want to call your connection to the divine source, and that there were twin ray frequencies of masculine and feminine, and they kind of work together on this planet interdimensionally throughout time, space, reality, and coming together is like that divine spark. And I feel that we are being called to move into those unions. I think some of us are doing it sacred union with themselves, which I see as the Hieros Gamos, which is entering into a marriage with yourself and coming into that union, and other people are doing it in divine relationship, or it's part of doing it both. And so at the moment, sacred union to me feels like a marriage with my own soul, finding all those parts of myself, all that wisdom that is locked away, and all that gnosis, that inner knowledge, and coming into that bridal chamber, that Hieros Gamos, with my soul self.
Well, thank you so much for your introduction. And I have to be honest, when you came with the question about the twin flames, I was a little bit triggered to say. I was thinking, oh no, not twin flames. But then I started remembering, before we came together 7 years ago, I had this vision or dream the whole time that I really was longing for someone to take this journey as we are taking right now. And I remember reading things about twin flames, and I was really into that. But something happened when we met, I totally forgot. And when you came up with the topic, I was like, oh no. Because it felt familiar when I look back, but also different. And I think that was the reason we felt that it was beautiful to start talking about it, because it's quite a journey. Yes. And thank you for your question.
Leua Jiwayang Kielwe Leua Jiwayang Kielwe Chanupa Kile Yua Jiwayang Kielwe Tunkachela Zani Piktasha May you find your twin flame.
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 May this love come towards you.
May it be pure and simple.
May this prayer guide you in your heart and your hearts find each other.
So then you close your eyes there at the fire and you return slowly but gently to the room where you are and you open your eyes.